guys, I'm here to show you this DJI Pocket 2 that I purchased. I'm going to unbox this for you today and give you my first impressions of what this camera's about. I'm not a technical person when it comes to camera gear as far as all the details, but I'm going to give you a layman's opinion of this camera in my own terms, because I'm just, like I said, I'm not a technical camera operator. I don't know a whole lot about all the details of what these cameras have. What I will tell you is what I like as a camera user without knowing all the little details. Here we go. Let's see what's in the box. First things first, looks like we got the camera itself in its case. By the way, I'm filming on my DJI Osmo Action, as I usually do, because that's my main camera of choice, my action cam. And I've also got a Canon M50, and I'm going to give you the comparison of both the Canon M50 as well as the Osmo Action on screen at the same time at certain points of this video, so you can compare the footage of the Osmo Action versus a decent camera as far as Canon goes. It's known, the M50 is known to be a good all-around camera as far as vlogging as well as just taking photos. We got this camera out of the box. Let's see what we got. Right out of the box, it looks pretty cool. It's all snug in there with some styrofoam. Here it comes. You got to get it out of the styrofoam packing protection to get it out. Get my magnifying glass out. Of course, there's a little screen protector here too. It's got to be peeled off. A little screen. I got some information here about the camera. Got on my tablet here. I can read to everyone. So it says here, key specifications of this camera is it's got a 1/1.7 CMOS sensor in it. It's also got a 20mm equivalent f1.8 lens, 64 megapixel and 16 megapixel photo modes. That's pretty cool that you can take a 64 megapixel photo with this. 4K 60, 2.7K 60, and 1080p 60 is available as video modes. You got a 8x zoom in this camera. That'll come in handy. So you can do a zoom. It's probably a digital zoom, I would think. It's okay with me. If you've got some kind of zoom at all with this type of camera, is pretty amazing. Panorama modes. It's got 4 microphones in this one with directional audio and sound tracking. So yeah, there's little holes I can see in each side of this. One in the front, one on the sides, on each side, and then one in the back. So no matter where you are speaking from, holding this, it's going to pick you up. And it's got a micro SD slot that'll take up a 256 gigabyte memory card in it. Very good. I like it already. The biggest thing that intrigued me about this camera to buy this was, well, there's a couple of things. Marcos swears by the Osmo Pocket 1, and he always loved that one. And then we talked a little bit about it, and then I looked into this after we spoke, and it has this wireless mic, lapel mic built into this creator combo pack that I got, and that's going to make a world of difference when it comes to audio. I know there's been many times I'm recording walking around in the wind, like now. I have a windsock on my M50 right now, but on the DJI Osmo Action I do not. So I'll switch between audio here with this wind outside and see how it makes a difference. But the lapel mic on this Pocket 2 also has a little windsock on it. So I'm going to hook that up here in a minute and see how that goes. But yeah, those are some of the features of this camera that I found listed on the internet here. It may interest some of you, and it interests me as well. I just didn't do a whole lot of research on this other than the features that I saw that, you know, that I liked were there. I mean, I love the stability of this little gimbal. Let me fire this up, see what it does. Oh, boom. No SD card. Yeah, I guess I should have put an SD card in it. Yeah, it's there you go. That quick. I'm gonna turn it back off. See how it goes. Turn it off. I think I'm holding in on the button. That's not turning it off. It doesn't want to turn off. It wants me to set it up. It looks like I'm going to have to do a bunch of stuff here before I can start using this camera. It's wanting me to connect to the internet and download some stuff before it lets me use it. So I'm going to come back shortly. It's working. It's toggling around here. Nice. It's tracking. It's being nice and smooth. It's doing its thing, but I just don't have any functionality yet until I do all what it's telling me to do. So be back in a minute. I'm going to update this bad boy and come back. All right. So it's been a little while since last clip because I had a time updating this thing. So first negative here was it took me forever. I'm going to say 2 hours to get it to work. The updating process to update the firmware. It would freeze at like 50%, and then it would just try to install the firmware. And I thought maybe it was because I had a bad Wi-Fi connection out here, so I moved in closer to my router where I have a strong connection, and it didn't matter. It was some kind of an error. Eventually it told me the SD card should be changed out, or to take out the SD card. So what I did is I took the SD card out and I put a different SD card in. And for some reason it liked that. And it took me about an hour and a half to figure that out. It's finally the last 30 minutes it did the update successfully. My guess is it didn't like the SD card that I had in it for one reason or another. I've used that SD card many times. It's a class 10. Should be fine for what we use it for as far as vlogging or video, but it didn't like it. I wiped it out several times, restarted the system, restarted the Mismo app that this works off of, the DJI Mismo app. Went online, researched a little bit what to do. A lot of people are having the same problems, and not just me. So that's a negative, dealing with that update. Finally I got it to update. And if it helps any of y'all, make sure you have a card in it, a newer class 10 high capacity, high speed card. Maybe the speed of the card that I had wasn't good enough, and the one I put in was, but here's the card I put in it. It's a SanDisk 128 gig Ultra Plus is the card that I took it out of my DJI drone that I use and swapped it out in here, and it took it. So that's what I'm using. That's what I used for the card to make it work. The one I had in there was also a SanDisk, maybe, and it was a class 10, but it may have just been not fast enough for whatever it needed to do the update. But here we go. I'm going to go ahead and get through this unboxing here, and I learned a little bit about the camera during the update process. But I'll go ahead and do the rest of the unboxing of the camera. First things first, in the box, a little tripod. You will find this little tripod to come in handy. Second thing is, you're not going to connect the tripod to the bottom of this camera until you put the tripod adapter on. So the bottom comes off. It's rather snug. Helps if you have some fingernails to get under the edge of it. And there is the charging port, which is also through the little cap. But you have two ways to get yourself on this tripod. It comes with a little tripod cap that fits over the bottom that gives you the threading to be able to thread that onto your tripod. Or just go ahead and hook on this expansion pack, which gives you the wireless Bluetooth, the wireless mic capabilities, and everything else. And it also has the threaded port for your tripod. But make sure you put it on right, and there's also a little button here. There's a message on the front, a little sticker that said, make sure you hold this clip down, and it deactivates, or it takes this little grip, spreads these grips apart in order for you to snap this in place. So just make sure you jam it in there right and use that little clip. So now that once this is on, it gives you a little bit more of a camera to hold on to. I kind of like it. It extends the size of it, but it also gives you some other functionality that I guess they just couldn't put all into the size of the body of this camera. So it serves a purpose. You know, you got a port here for a microphone on the side, a little jack port. It does have the wireless mic as well. You have your charging port on one side. You have what it looks like a speaker. Now you can actually hear the video if you do a playback. There's a little speaker in the bottom here. And then of course your tripod mount. So it's important to get that on there. And when you do your firmware update, do it with this attached, because this will also update. At the end of the update, it gets an additional 2-minute update for this module to update. So that's good to know. So those of you watching this and you want to buy one of these, just update with this little add-on to it. Once whoever gets the creator combo pack, is you'll receive all these items in the creator combo, which is what I got. So now I can set this up on the table. It's not flopping around. And you know, if you lay this down and you start turning this on, this gimbal starts, you know, trying to do its thing. And if it's against the table, it gets froze up. And you don't want to force the motors in this thing either. Put any resistance on these motors. You know, it's doing what it does. It's pivoting. It's freely floating. When this thing's turned on, it's doing everything it's supposed to do. All right, let's move on with unboxing some goodies here. So in the box here is the lapel mic. Now I'm sure this probably needs to be charged up as well. Haven't tried using this yet, but I will here at the end of this video. I'm going to connect it and see if it changes the volume or the audio quality at all. I'm sure it will. Now I'm going to go ahead and get into here and see what else is in this little cardboard box here. You got a cable. Looks like it's one of those dual charging cables. So now you plug this into your charger and you can charge 2 items at once. So you can charge the microphone at the same time you can charge the battery in the unit. So that's cool. It's got a little handle, a little strap, so you don't have to drop this thing. A little wrist strap. That's cool. Need that, because I'll drop it for sure. So it looks like we have a little adapter here for the front. It's got a little extra buttons functionality here. Let's see what we got here. On the front, yeah, we got a button. It looks like a little joystick right here. So I'm going to go ahead and snap that on right now, because right now all I've got is this cover. I'll put that in the box. So it looks like keep this on here most of the time. Now of course there's a way you can connect your cell phone on here to get a bigger screen. Oh, it's updating the stick. Do not power it off. So it's updating the stick with firmware that I already updated in here. So all these little electronic pieces need to be updated as well. Update successful. So it did that on its own. As soon as I plugged that in here, to start, click. It says to learn how to use this, push start. It's giving me a little tutorial on what these buttons do right on the small screen here. Quick slider tilt. Okay, so the button next to the joystick gives you functionality changes for the joystick. Right now it's focused on me, and every time I turn this, the camera stays on me. no matter which way I turn the body of this camera. The camera is on me. It's pretty cool. Alright, let's go into here and see what else we got. So we got the alright, so this is the adapter to connect your phone to the unit, so that gets replaced where the joystick piece just went on. Oh, here's a little dead cat for the microphone. It is windy out here today. So here's the wireless microphone. Here's the microphone right in the top. You can see the little microphone opening. I hate reading instructions. You know, I took the time to update all this, and I didn't read one instructions and booklet or anything. And there is an instruction booklet here, by the way. I just hadn't opened it because I just don't. That's the last resort for me and most guys, I think, is to read the instructions. I think most of us guys are that way. Road maps, all that shit goes the same way. As far as this little dead cat goes, I'm going to use it, but until I figure out how it snaps in here. Maybe I'm just not pushing hard enough, but that's it. There's your microphone. Or this is a iPhone connector. Since I don't have an iPhone, I'm putting it back in the box. For one day maybe I will, I never know. Here, oh, here is a this is a lens, 0.75 15mm lens. So this is a wide angle lens. I'm going to put this wide angle lens on here and see what it does. How easy is that to go on? It's not easy. Oh, I'm doing it backwards? I'm doing it backwards. Oh, it's a magnet. So you put it on, it's a magnet. And it just sits right on there like that. I was doing it backwards. I wonder if it's upside down or right side up. Would it matter? It shouldn't matter, I wouldn't think. But it looks like it needs to snap. I hate to put force on this. But it looks, oh yeah, it snapped in. Just a little bit of force it did. It snapped into place. So it's magnetized and it also snaps right in. And yeah, it gave me a wider field of view. So this would be good. It's giving me more of my surroundings at arm's length. So that's a nice feature. I'm going to do a little video here and I'm going to throw it up on the screen with the comparison of the Osmo Action, which I'm filming on primarily on all my videos. And I also have the M50 from Canon that I've got set up on a tripod. All right, here we go. We got the all three cameras running now, 4K, 24 frames. I've got audio coming through the Osmo Pocket 2. But as far as picture quality goes, let me know. I'm going to look at it. I'm pretty sure I know which one I'm going to like the most. But you know what? The Canon M50 could give everybody a run for their money. It's a big camera though. It's not a little action cam or a nice little pocket camera. It's a little bigger, so probably a lot more focusing capabilities and white balance capabilities in those Canons versus the DJI products, but we may be surprised. Let's see what happens. So anyway, there we go. Little unboxing review of my new Pocket 2. I think I'm going to like it. It's got a lot of nice features. It's got a lot of nice reviews, a lot of happy customers, so hopefully I'll be one of them too. I've always liked my DJI products, like my Mavic Mini. I'm happy with my Osmo Action camera, and I'm sure I'll be happy with this Pocket 2 as well. Until next time, guys, be safe, and we'll see you on the next one.